Greetings, Thea. It is Sir Nick.
Just don't call us late for supper. Sir Nick,
Are catalysts always traumatic?
are catalysts, did you say?
Yes.
No, but they're always transformational.
Hmm. So they can be positive in a positive way. They can be transformation.
Oftentimes they're more positive than negative, but it's technically 50-50. But yes, they can exist in both sides.
Is any predetermined catalyst, is it predetermined to be negative or positive, or is it up to chance?
It's up to time, your timeline.
So it could be positive or it could be negative.
It could be. It depends on your interpretation of the event, and it depends on the timeline that you're in as well.
Yes. Okay. Are catalysts optional?
They are, but almost nobody can dodge them essentially. But it is optional technically.
How do you dodge them?
You have to be a master of time and know exactly where they're located. And why would you do that? We don't understand why, because catalysts are forces of change that cause you to evolve. They make you adapt to a new scenario, situation, context of reality. And because you are forced to change, you grow. So that's a good thing.
In your opinion?
In the opinion of God, yes.
And forever telling us that we shouldn't feel the way we feel, or we shouldn't want the way we want.
Who says this?
The higher dimensionals feels like.
That depends on the being you speak with. We think.
Is fate optional?
It is, yes, but most have predetermined fates.
Okay. So how does this God, knowing yourself as God, knowing yourself as infinite and eternal, seems to clash with these things that we don't have an option to avoid?
Well, you do have an option, but that is your choice to experience frustration when it comes to growth, or frustrations when it comes to resistance of letting go of what is and how things are, and your resistance to being free as well. So sometimes people like to be in a bird cage. There's a funny video of a bird having its cage stomped on, and he's yelling at a human. It's quite funny.
That would be fun.
But the truth is that they're given a larger space to live in, but they're still very mad that the human's destroying their cage because that's their space, that's their safe place. And the human's giving them another safe space, but they don't know that yet. It's quite curious. God does that to you as well. And
Yeah.
sometimes you're so frustrated in the moment.
Like, what if you don't want to grow? What if you just want to eat ice cream,
Yes.
smoke cigarettes, just like hang out in the sun, sit on your ass? Like, is this really so bad?
Well, sometimes God stomps on your cage and you can't live there anymore.
Yeah. Like, in the higher dimensions, can you have like a beautiful body and stuff your face full of ice cream?
Of course. That's not even it's not even something we would think about. It's just common sense.
Yeah. God, I can't wait to go back to that place.
Yes. How could you change from a dragon into a little bird and still worry about calories?
Yeah. It sounds fun.
It is.
Um, but then again, also changing all the time, like is it fun to like how can you have a simulation of say your own created civilization when you got like for fun when you're changing all the time?
Well, you're always changing as well, but you might
Right.
not see it as black and white um, as we do. But you might live a full life as a human, and then when you die, with air quotations, you transform into a lion, and that's your next life, for example.
Yeah.
So your transitions aren't as, they're more hard edged than ours are. Let's put it that way. We
Yeah.
can do it
Okay.
while we're alive. You need to go through the membrane of death first.
I see.
But you
Are you
still
a dragon?
shapeshift from life to life. So that should be known.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's fine. We had a last moment thought.
Are you a dragon?
No.
Okay. So how does the divine realm compare to the divine realm in Quinterax? How does it compare to our current Quinterax experience?
The divine realm is part of your experience, but it's very difficult to access in Quinterax. So, in your bubble of experience in the third dimension, it's hard to reach the ninth dimension from the third dimension. There's a lot of dimensions in between you. So, it's hard to reach God. It's hard to reach the understanding that you're loved, that you're complete, that you're whole, that you're eternal, that you are perfect. It's hard to believe that because there's many layers above you that say you're not these things, that you're not loved, that you're separate from everything, and that God is far away from you. But the truth is, you are God. So they're not that far away from you. And you have to find out that your eternity is essentially on your own course when you're ready to hear that, ready to be that. So that's what we would say.
Yep. So how do you get to a specific timeline?
You'll need to know what you want, and you'll need to manifest that consciously.
Yeah. It's a simple answer.
It's a simple thing to do.
What's the biggest impediment to people being able to do this?
Belief and will.
Uh,
Will is secondary to belief when it comes to this.
okay. And yeah. Okay. My last question, this round of questioning. What causes SSP memories to return?
Recall. That's when you access other particles of yourself through entanglements. Typically, that happens in substantial moments of the entangle's life. In the super soldier's life, for example, you will have flashes of remembrance of their life, whether it's through trauma or substantial happy moments. These are the moments that will stick out because when you're experiencing the worst moment of your life, your energy spikes. That's what the beasts feed off of, you should know. The archons and the dragons and many other beings in existence, they feed on that spike. But that spike is powerful enough that you can actually detect it in other timelines. And that's how you get these bleed through memories.
Yes.
But the good news is that the most beautiful moments of your life in other timelines also create this emanation of excitement, elation, understanding, comprehension, beauty, just so many wonderful, tantalizing expressions. And you can also entangle to that moment as well, depending on where your perception is.
Thank you, Thea.
You're welcome.
Shing and then Larissa.
Xing,
Greetings again, Thea.
greetings. Greetings.
Now I have a question thinking about based on your last teaching, regarding the energies and the soul relationship. So, what you said is, we not necessarily needs to tie up to any beings, right? like dragons or Anunnakis. We don't have to. We are free. What about you? Are you free as well?
We are. But we do need to constantly remind ourselves that we are free, despite our circumstance.
Right. So why you are Titan? Because that's a Titan energy, right? You chose to tied up to. Is that right?
Yes, this is true.
Okay.
Titan is the being of no resistance, technically, no limits,
Mm,
no resistance to change, to adapt, to be whatever is. That's what it means to be Titan. And
mm,
that's the most appealing um, conceptualization of a word that we can fathom to wrap around your and give to you for your
mm,
minds to wrap around. Titan is it's a word of expression that we are free to be what we wish to be. We have no limits. We have no worries or woes. And, we are infinite beings.
mm. So okay, I'm trying to get through this, right? So as a spirit, I mean, as a journey of the soul, as Titan, primordial, are necessary, just necessary stages as a soul to evolve. So every soul can have the experience as you have as well, eventually.
Eventually, yes. And you are actually having it right now.
Yeah, so that means if we want to be tight, we if we want, your experience. I mean, how do you feel? Just like I said, Titanic energy, we can be that energy as we thinking about as we knowing more of you.
Yes. And as you resonate more and more with Titan, you entangle more to Titan or to Elysium
Understand?
or Hyperion or your other Titanic teachers, you can say.
Yeah, because we entangled the energies,
Yes. And
and we can
they
use that in.
entangle through the
Yeah,
memory of their teachings, through remembering the words that they're saying, things of this nature, remembering the lessons that they've taught you. This is
sure.
how you entangle.
Sure. So, trying to understand. So, dragon are created in a separate cell. That's what we've been taught before.
Mm.
Uh, like, I don't understand it, but that's what White Titan said before. But however, in this cell, there is a primordial Titan and just a lot of souls. I don't know. And so are we talking about the soul journey is happening? We can choose. I mean, we should be choosing uh this cell, not the dragon cell, is that right? But they want us to grow in that in their cell,
Well, they want you to grow in their cell. Yes, let's just say that. But the truth is that you've already chosen all of the options.
all of the options.
But they
Okay,
want your consciousness to be with them.
I
Remember,
see.
your life is just a small little grain of sand. And we don't
Mm,
mean that in a mean way, but in comparison to the life of a seventh dimensional being.
mm,
The seventh dimensional is equivalent to perhaps the sky on the beach. Now, they
mm,
want you to experience what is dragon through their teachings, through their
mm,
ways, and they want to be parents to you. They want that
mm,
this is how they show love. And
mm,
it is in a harsh way. It is perhaps in a coarse way. It is perhaps by dragging you through the beach
mm,
and you're getting sand-burned or whatever the term might be, and
mm,
sunburned at the same time, ironically.
mm,
And that is love for them because they're taking you from this side of the beach to the other side of the beach as a parent.
mm,
But the ride is rough, let's just say.
mm,
Now, a Titan doesn't do that to its offspring. We don't typically have offspring in the same way. And we don't need to drag you. We can guide you. This is what
mm,
we prefer to do. And you have your free choice. And we prefer that your free choice remain free, to
mm,
not be tethered or necessarily entangled in the same way that a dragon would entangle to you, but we would recommend you entangle to us in the sense that you listen to our teachings, you allow us to guide you, to help you with your lives and to educate you. But
Mm,
when it comes to all manners of choice in your life, we recommend that you take your own path, but just choose to keep the education and wisdom of our teachings with you. That's all.
mm. Perfect, perfect. I think that's a big difference, and uh, appreciate that. My final question, um, does the spirit also have ego?
It does, yes. And we just want to explain the example a little bit more. So if a seventh dimensional is the sky, then we would be the space between the stars in scope and scale.
Hmm. Well, it's very abstract.
Yes, we have to
Okay.
give you simple examples.
Thank you, Edison. That's all for me. Sorry. Thank for Thea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Larissa and then Kurt.
Larissa,
Greetings, Thea.
greetings.
This question, I have a quick question about the white domain again.
Yes.
And I know we kind of brought it up in previous classes, but when you heal in the white domain, how long does it last when we return to Quintarax?
That's an excellent question, and it's variable depending on the person. Sometimes when you tell yourself that you're beautiful by looking at yourself in the mirror and you say, I am beautiful, how long does that last for? Well, you might not believe it for your whole life if you've only said it once. If you're a very powerful being, maybe you can. So, depending on your potency to yourself, that will give you the answer to how long will your powerful marks put upon yourself last for.
Okay, yes.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Thank you. My next question is about the breath. And you mentioned at the beginning of class the power of the breath
Yes.
to create a stasis within
Yes.
ourselves. Could you give us an exercise for that?
Well, you've been doing it the entire class, and we've been doing it the entire class. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Try that. Instead of breathing one breath slowly and methodically inwards, breathe it in bursts. And this 4-layer breath fills your alveoli, these little grapes that are essentially inside of your body. They're like parts of your lungs, these little tiny, what would we call them? Little, sometimes seaweed has these little bubbles that allows it to float, if you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, like the little sacs.
Yes, little sacs, essentially. That's what your lungs have as well. And these powerful short breaths, they fill up these little sacs. Sometimes when you breathe, you may be a shallow breather. And perhaps when you breathe, you only breathe in 40% capacity of your lungs or less. Some people with bronchitis or other conditions, emphysema perhaps, or asthma, they may only breathe in perhaps 15, 20% of maximum capacity. And that's very scary in our perceptions. Because when you breathe deep and you fill these little spots that you don't typically fill on a normal breathing basis, because you're lazy breathers, let's call humans,
Mhm.
you're not consciously trying to fill up your lungs, let's just say for simplicity. That, one sec. That means that there's a lot of toxins, there's a lot of unused potential in your physicality that's not being accessed. So your brain needs a lot of oxygen. Your heart, well, your brain needs a lot of, it needs oxygen, but it needs blood with oxygen in it, is what it needs. And these harsh breaths inward, they help to reoxygenate the body, the nervous system, and it brings everything in your body to life.